Chapter 42-46. A few silver sword gleams slashed toward Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. The most shocking thing was that these few sword gleams could actually turn. They seemed to be alive. Like many long snakes, they kept slithering in the air, avoiding the arc-shaped lights and charging toward Lu Ming. In the blink of an eye, they had caught up with Lu Ming. They had blocked Lu Ming's 3 directions. The only direction that wasn't blocked was the direction of the Evil Heart Jade Cave. Because that direction didn't need to be blocked. The 3 sword lights were terrifyingly powerful. In the blink of an eye, they were closing in on Lu Ming. Any one of them could instantly kill Lu Ming because they were from a cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. There was no way out. Without the slightest hesitation, Lu Ming moved towards the direction where there were no sword lights. Boom boom. The sword lights missed and collided with the arcs of light, then disappeared without a trace. However, right after that, 2 silver sword gleams dashed toward Lu Ming like long silver snakes. Fuck! Lu Ming bellowed in his heart. However, he had no choice but to continue evading the attacks. He dodged the 2 silver sword lights. But in the next instant, Lu Ming's facial expression drastically changed. Because one of the arcs of light was moving straight towards Lu Ming's face. Just now, he was focused on dodging the few silver sword lights, and most of his attention was on the silver sword lights. In a moment of carelessness, he actually rushed towards an arc of light. The 2 of them were too close and the arcs of light were too fast. It was too late to dodge. At that critical moment, Lu Ming had no choice but to use all his strength to condense forbidden energy in his hand. His hand was like a blade, slashing towards the arcs of light. There was no other way. Lu Ming couldn't just sit there and wait for death. He could only do his best to resist, even though Lu Ming wasn't sure he could succeed. That little boy is dead. The Evil Heart Jade is mine. I must get it. When the others saw that Lu Ming was slashing towards the arcs of light, they were smiling coldly. They thought that Lu Ming was going to die. They sped up and rushed towards the Evil Heart Jade. As soon as Lu Ming was killed by the arcs of light, they would try to snatch the Evil Heart Jade. A clear and melodious sound spread in the air. The sound was similar to what the crowd had expected, but the situation was the opposite. It wasn't Lu Ming who had been slashed, it was the arcs of light. Lu Ming's palm slashed down. The arc-shaped light was like a bubble. It was split into 2 by Lu Ming and then dissipated without a trace. In an instant, everyone's eyes were wide open. Why wasn't Lu Ming dead? Instead, he was able to scatter the arc-shaped light? The arc-shaped light was like a bubble in Lu Ming's hands. If not for the fact that they knew how terrifying the arc-shaped light was, they would have really thought that it was like a bubble that could be easily extinguished. They knew how terrifying the arcs of light were. Even cultivators of the 9th Great Supreme God layer would be severely injured if they were hit by the arcs of light. Only a few of them would be severely injured. Most of them would die if they were hit by the arcs of light. Lu Ming was just a piece of trash of the Divine Emperor layer. How could he have slashed the arcs of light? To be honest, even Lu Ming himself was surprised. Just now, he also thought that he was most likely going to die here. He had attacked with all his strength out of instinct. No matter what, he wouldn't give up. He hadn't thought that the arcs of light would be so useless. Could it be because of my forbidden strength? Lu Ming suddenly thought of his forbidden strength. When the arcs of light had collided with his forbidden strength, the arcs of light had been destroyed. It was because of his forbidden strength. That's right. The taboo force is known as the taboo force. It is the most powerful force in the universe. Many types of energy can be restrained by the taboo force. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Let's try again. With that thought, Lu Ming waved his hand again. The forbidden strength condensed into a palm and slashed at the arcs of light. That arc of light was really like a bubble. It emitted a slight sound and then dissipated. It's really effective. Lu Ming was overjoyed. As for the others, they all came to their senses. This kid is not afraid of the arcs of light. Miracle, miracle, I must capture this kid. This kid is a supreme treasure. These people were all roaring in their hearts. Their eyes were burning with flames of greed. They were even greedier than when they were looking at the Jades of Hearts. Lu Ming was not afraid of the arcs of light. As long as they captured Lu Ming and made Lu Ming listen to them, they could have as many Jades of Hearts as they wanted. At this moment, those people were not rushing towards Lu Ming for the Jades of Hearts. They wanted to capture Lu Ming. You want to capture me now? No way. Lu Ming smiled coldly and immediately used the Great Aurora technique. He turned into a beam of light and moved towards the entrance of the magic jade cave. His entire body was covered in forbidden energy. Wherever he went, the arcs of light that came into contact with him would disperse. In a flash, Lu Ming arrived at the entrance of the magic jade cave. Little boy, stay here. If you dare to move again, I swear I'll make sure you die a horrible death. A few silhouettes also rushed towards the entrance of the magic jade cave. Those people were all cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. They were extremely strong. However, Lu Ming didn't feel like paying attention to them. He turned around and rushed towards the magic jade cave. In the blink of an eye, he had already traveled a few dozen li. At that moment, the arcs of light in the magic jade cave were about to end. There were no more arcs of light flying out. However, when those cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer arrived at the entrance of the magic jade cave, they didn't dare chase after him. Even though the magic jade cave was calm and peaceful when the arcs of light didn't appear, as if it was safe, as long as someone dared to go in, the magic jade cave would explode and kill them all. Jades of the heart flew out from the heart jade magic cave. One could imagine that the heart jade magic cave contained a large number of jades of the heart. How could it not be coveted? Many people had wanted to take advantage of the fact that the arcs of light hadn't exploded to go into the magic jade cave and steal the jades of hearts, but they had all died. They had all died in the cave, their souls had all been destroyed. None of them had survived. Otherwise, those people wouldn't have dared to stay outside the magic jade cave. Little boy, you're good? I'll give you a suggestion. Go into the magic jade cave and bring the jades of hearts out to me. Then I'll spare your life. Otherwise, you'll have to stay in there forever," said a cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God layer coldly. "Indeed, that's what I wanted to say too," said another cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. He was on the other side of the magic jade cave. Even if Lu Ming went into the magic jade cave, so what? Chapter 42-47. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. A few more silhouettes appeared at the entrance of the demonic jade cave. They were all cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. "Little boy, you better be obedient. Go in and take the jades out. Otherwise, this old man will die miserably." "I know you're on the same side," said another cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. He was holding someone. It was Hao Lu. Hao Lu was captured. Hao Lu and Lu Ming had come together. Everybody had seen that. When they saw that Lu Ming could break the lights, some cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer immediately attacked Hao Lu. Hao Lu only had the strength of the 7th Great Supreme God layer. Of course, he couldn't compete with those cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. "Little brother, save me." Hao Lu cried out loudly with a panicked expression. Those people were under the influence of the demonic fire. They killed people without batting an eyelid. If they were angry, they would kill him. He was scared to death. Lu Ming furrowed his brows. At the very least, Hao Lu's character was not bad. Previously, when they were being chased by the Tungsten Commander and the rest, he brought Lu Ming along and did not escape alone. Lu Ming remembered this in his heart. If there was a way, he would help Hao Lu. But how could he help him now? Besides, even though those people didn't dare come in, they were blocking the entrance. Even if he went into the depths of the demonic jade cave and obtained a large number of jades, he wouldn't be able to get out. Even if he got out, those people would probably join hands to kill him and steal his jades. Unless there was another exit in the depths of the demonic jade cave. He had to try. "You better not touch him. Otherwise, even if I get the jades, I won't take them out. We'll just die together." Lu Ming stared coldly at the person who grabbed Hao Lu. "Don't worry, I'm a man of my word. If you can take the jades out, I'll let him go," said the cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God layer, smiling. Then, Lu Ming didn't say anything else. He turned around and went into the depths of the demonic jade cave. Now, he could only take one step at a time. First, he would enter the Heart Jade Magic Cave and see what was going on before making further plans. Everyone stared at Lu Ming, watching as Lu Ming walked step by step towards the Heart Jade Devil Cave. Lu Ming's speed wasn't very fast. Although he had a taboo power that could break through the arcs of light, he didn't dare to be careless. Who knew if there were any other dangers in the depths of the Heart Jade Magic Cave? Lu Ming's body was shrouded in taboo energy as he moved forward step by step. Soon, Lu Ming was 100 li deep into the Heart Jade Devil Cave. Rumble. Suddenly, a faint rumbling sound came from the Heart Jade Magic Cave. Lu Ming felt the ground tremble slightly. Lu Ming's heart tightened. He focused his attention and pushed his taboo energy to the limit. Then, Lu Ming felt a terrifying energy rush out from the front of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. This energy was like a tidal wave, covering the entire cave, leaving no gaps. It was impossible to dodge, so he could only take it head-on. In the blink of an eye, this terrifying energy appeared not far in front of Lu Ming. At this time, Lu Ming made his move. His palm was like a knife, constantly slashing out. Palm energy bombarded the surging waves. These waves looked terrifying, but after being hit by Lu Ming's palm energy, they were directly split apart, creating a huge hole. It's effective. This energy is exactly the same as the arcs of light. It can be restrained by my taboo energy. Lu Ming's eyes lit up, and he became more confident. Next, Lu Ming continued to attack, directly destroying this energy. Lu Ming strode forward without any hindrance. Towards the end, Lu Ming's speed became faster and faster, and he completely disappeared from everyone's sight. This kid, what kind of energy does he have to be able to break through the arcs of light? He's really powerful. No wonder he was imprisoned by the Heavenly Palace. As long as we stay here and wait for this kid to come out, the Heart Jade will be ours. We won't have to fear the Heart Flame Devil Fire anymore. Outside the cave, some people were laughing, looking forward to Lu Ming's appearance. The Heart Jade Devil Cave was very deep. Lu Ming walked forward for a distance of more than 10,000 miles. Along the way, he encountered several energy attacks, but they were all easily broken by him. After moving forward for a while, Lu Ming's spirit was lifted. He had finally reached the end of the Heart Jade Devil Cave, and a huge space appeared in front of him. Lu Ming quickened his pace and came to this space. This space seemed to be an underground space. It was very wide and spacious. Yes, spacious. Lu Ming looked around, and there was nothing here. What Heart Jade? He didn't see a single piece. What's going on? Lu Ming frowned. The Heart Jade clearly flew out from here, but why didn't he see a single piece of it here? Something's not right. Suddenly, Lu Ming made a discovery. He discovered that there were lines of runes on the ground or on the walls. Although the light was dim, it was still seen by Lu Ming. This spacious space was full of such runes. A large formation. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that this was a large formation. This Heart Jade Devil Cave was not formed naturally, but man-made. At this thought, Lu Ming's heart turned cold. After so many years, someone finally came in. Great. My race's many years of planning finally didn't go to waste. Suddenly, a few laughter sounded. The laughter was filled with ecstasy. Then, a figure flashed, and a few figures suddenly appeared in this space. There were more than a dozen of them. There's really someone. Lu Ming was shocked and instinctively wanted to retreat, but the space behind Lu Ming fluctuated slightly, and a figure already appeared behind Lu Ming. What fast speed! Lu Ming sucked in a breath of cold air. This person's speed was too shocking, exceeding his reaction time. Lu Ming's body also stiffened. He knew that this was a terrifying powerhouse. If he wanted to kill him, he absolutely had no room to resist. If there's no other way, I can only take out the purple copper coffin and risk it all. Lu Ming focused his mind and communicated with the purple copper coffin. Once something was wrong, he would take out the purple copper coffin and risk it all, although he did not know if it was effective. At this time, Lu Ming saw these people's appearances clearly. These people looked very strange. Each and every one of them was tall and thin, like thin bamboo poles. The most special thing was their heads. Their heads were very long, and the top of their heads was pointed, like an awl. What race was this? Lu Ming had never seen or heard of it before. But what made Lu Ming more at ease was that he did not sense any malice from these people. These people's eyes stared fixedly at Lu Ming, full of ecstasy, curiosity, and anticipation. Everyone, I'm Mu Yun. If I've disturbed you in any way, please forgive me. I'll withdraw now. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. Chapter 42-48. Back out? Since you can come here, how can you back out? A burly man with a conical head said. Lu Ming's expression changed as he said, Everyone, what is the meaning of this? I didn't mean to offend you when I came in. At the same time, Lu Ming was on full alert, maintaining contact with the purple copper coffin at all times. If the situation went wrong, he would immediately take out the purple copper coffin and fight for his life. Seeing that Lu Ming was on his guard, the few men with conical heads smiled faintly. One of them, who looked like an old man with 2 white eyebrows, smiled slightly and said, Little friend, don't misunderstand. We have no ill intentions. After saying that, he said to the others, Let's back up a little. Don't alarm this little friend. After saying that, he took a few steps back. The others also retreated. The expert standing behind Lu Ming also retreated, keeping a distance from Lu Ming. Lu Ming was slightly relieved because he could feel that these people really did not have any ill intentions. Lu Ming's spirit sense was very sharp. He could acutely sense whether the other party had any ill intentions towards him. Everyone, since you have no ill intentions towards me, why are you not letting me back down? What is the meaning of this? Lu Ming asked. That's because we have something to ask you for help with. The old man with 2 white eyebrows said. You have something to ask me for help with? With my cultivation, what can I do to help? Lu Ming was puzzled, but in the next moment, his heart skipped a beat. Could it be related to his taboo power? Sure enough, the old man with 2 white eyebrows said, Of course you can help. Little friend, the power you control is very special. We set up a large formation here and activated the power of void annihilation, but it was easily broken by you. This is not something that anyone can do. In fact, we have set up this formation here for several stellar years, and only you can do it. The power of void annihilation? The arc-shaped light that flew out of this cave was all because of this formation? Lu Ming said, his gaze once again sweeping across the runes on the ground. That's right. The old man with 2 white eyebrows nodded. That heart jade was also thrown out by you? Lu Ming asked again, his eyes filled with anticipation. That's right, the heart jade was refined by my clan. The old man with 2 eyebrows nodded. Lu Ming's heart was beating wildly in shock. The jades of the heart were actually refined by these people and not naturally contained within the world. This greatly exceeded Lu Ming's expectations. These people were actually able to refine treasures like the jade heart. Wouldn't that mean that they wouldn't be affected by the heart flame demonic fire in the heavenly prison? You're doing this to find someone who can break the power of void annihilation? What exactly do I have to help you with? Lu Ming said. He knew that if he didn't agree to help the other party, even if the other party didn't do anything to him, he definitely wouldn't give the heart jade to him. The other party wasn't that stupid. Therefore, it seemed that the other party was definitely going to help. Therefore, the first thing he had to do was to ask the other party what he wanted to help him with. Speaking of which, we have to start from the history of my clan. My clan is called the Sky Heart Clan. I wonder if you've heard of it? The old man with 2 eyebrows asked. Sky Heart Clan? I've never heard of it. There doesn't seem to be such a clan in the 10,000 Races board of the primitive universe. Lu Ming shook his head. In fact, he had some doubts in his heart. Putting everything else aside, just the strength of the dozen people in front of him was extremely shocking. There were definitely peak god emperors among them. Logically speaking, with such experts holding the fort, they should be able to squeeze into the 10,000 Races board of the primitive universe. However, they weren't on the board of the 10,000 Races board of the primitive universe. It's normal that you haven't heard of it. After all, my clan has been gone for countless years. The old man with 2 eyebrows sighed. The other members of the Sky Heart clan were furious. Let me tell you the truth. Countless years ago, my clan was very famous in the primitive universe. During our heyday, we were ranked in the top 10 of the 10,000 races board of the primitive universe, the old man with 2 eyebrows said. What? Top 10? Lu Ming exclaimed. He was really too shocked. During their heyday, the Sky Heart clan was ranked in the top 10 of the 10,000 races board of the primitive universe. The top 10 of the 10,000 races board of the primitive universe were known as the top 10 races. They were extremely powerful and had an unfathomable foundation. For example, the Angel clan, the Demon clan, the Blood clan, the Buddha clan, and so on. Which one of them wasn't famous in the universe? They were the pinnacle forces of the universe. If it wasn't for the Heavenly Palace, they would have been the overlords of the universe. The Skyheart clan was one of the top 10 races back then. It was really terrifying. However, how could such a powerful clan suddenly disappear from the universe? He hadn't even heard of it until now. Lu Ming also asked the question in his heart. It's because of the Heavenly Palace. This time, the old man with 2 eyebrows was also furious. He said, "Back then, my clan discovered some secrets of the Heavenly Palace and was dissatisfied with the Heavenly Palace's rule. The Heavenly Palace immediately killed us and sent a large number of experts to annihilate my clan. The remaining people were all locked up in the prison. It's the Heavenly Palace again. Even the top 10 races couldn't withstand a single blow from the Heavenly Palace." Lu Ming sighed in his heart. He thought of the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Clan was also one of the top 10 races back then. They were extremely powerful. In the end, they were still annihilated by the Heavenly Palace. Now, they were removed from the top 10 races. In history, the top 10 races weren't fixed. Every once in a while, there would be a race that weakened or was completely annihilated and then replaced by another race. In fact, the mastermind behind all of this was the Heavenly Palace. The old man with 2 eyebrows said again. Lu Ming was speechless. The Heavenly Palace was indeed powerful. This was undeniable. He waited for the old man to continue. He believed that the old man would soon tell him why he needed his help. Sure enough, the old man with 2 eyebrows continued. My clan has been exterminated and the remaining people have been imprisoned in the heavenly prison, never to leave. However, my clan is not willing to accept this. My clan was so strong in the past, we are not willing to remain silent. We want to leave, but our strength is too weak. Our strongest expert is only at the peak of the Divine Emperor realm. Our Divine Lord experts are imprisoned in another place. Only by rescuing our Divine Lord can we have hope. Therefore, we set up the Void Annihilation Array here and then used the Jade Heart to lure the other people in the prison to fight for it. Only those who could break the Void Annihilation Array could help my clan and save the Divine Lords. The old man with 2 eyebrows explained. In this way, Lu Ming understood all the secrets of the Jade Heart and the Jade Heart Demon Cave. However, there was a bigger problem. You want me to save the Divine Lords of the Sky Heart clan? I don't think I can do it with my cultivation. Lu Ming said. He was only at the Divine Emperor realm. We don't need your cultivation. We only need your strength. Our race's Divine Master is imprisoned in another place, not this prison. However, a few stellar years ago, our race discovered that the place where our Divine Master was imprisoned is connected to this prison. Our race has already discovered the passageway leading to that place, but the passageway has been sealed by a powerful force. After a long time, the experts of my clan finally discovered that force. It was the Void Annihilation Array. The old man with 2 eyebrows said. Chapter 42-49. The experts of my race who are proficient in arrays spent a great deal of effort to create an array. This array can mimic the power of the seal, Void Annihilation. Since you can break Void Annihilation, you should be able to break the seal and release the God Lord experts of my race. The 2-browed elder continued to explain. Lu Ming breathed a sigh of relief. It was just breaking the seal, so it was fine. I can help, but I need Jade Heart. Also, if you can get out, bring me out with you. Lu Ming said. That's simple. If you have any other requests, you can ask. As long as my race can fulfill them, we will not refuse. The old man with the 2 eyebrows said. Then he waved his hand, and a number of crystals suddenly appeared in the air. Jade heart, all of them jade heart. There were more than 100 of them. Little friend, take these jade heart first. Oh, my name is Xin Wu, an elder of the Sky Heart race. Little friend, you can call me Elder Xin Wu. The two-browed elder waved his hand, and more than 100 jade heart flew toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming waved his hand and put away the jade heart. Then many thanks to Elder Xin Wu. Lu Ming cupped his fists. At the same time, he took out a heart jade and held it in his palm. He then injected the taboo force into the heart jade. Immediately, the heart jade disappeared from Lu Ming's palm and appeared in Lu Ming's sea of consciousness the next moment. At the same time, the jade heart emitted a cool energy that spread throughout Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming had been a little restless from the corrosion of the jade heart devil fire, and the negative emotions in his heart disappeared without a trace. Moreover, the cool energy of the jade heart isolated him from the jade heart devil fire. The effects of the jade heart were better than Lu Ming had imagined. It was no wonder those experts outside the jade heart devil cave were willing to risk their lives to obtain the jade heart. At the same time, he sighed. The experts outside had to risk their lives to obtain a single heart jade, but he had easily obtained over 100 of them. He wondered what kind of expression those people would have when they found out. Thinking of this, Lu Ming thought of Hao Lu and Commander Tungsten. Everyone, I still have one more thing that I need your help with. I have a friend who has been captured outside the Heart Jade Devil Cave. I hope that you can help me save him. Also, I need you to help me kill someone. Lu Ming said. That's simple. Since we found you, there's no need for this place to exist any longer. Let's set off now. Elder Xin Wu said. Many thanks. Lu Ming cupped his fists, then turned around and walked out of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. Elder Xin Wu brought a dozen experts from the Sky Heart race and followed behind Lu Ming. They didn't have to worry about any threats when they came out. Their speed was very fast. In just a few breaths, they had crossed the Heart Jade Magic Cave's passageway. The light from outside pierced in. Lu Ming strode out. Outside the Heart Jade Magic Cave, those experts were guarding the entrance of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. Among them, there were 2 experts of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer who were controlling Hao Lu, making it difficult for him to move. This time, it's really troublesome. Am I going to die here? Hao Lu sighed. He didn't have much hope for Lu Ming. Even if Lu Ming could come out of the Heart Jade Magic Cave alive and bring out a large number of Heart Jades, those people wouldn't let Lu Ming go. Not only would they steal Lu Ming's Heart Jades, but they would also control Lu Ming. They would make Lu Ming their tool in the future to collect Heart Jades for them. As for him, once he no longer had any value, he would definitely be mercilessly killed by these people. In other words, he was doomed. If I had known earlier, I would have been imprisoned by Tungsten. Hao Lu sighed inwardly. Suddenly, someone shouted, "That kid is coming out." Hao Lu was astonished. He hastily raised his head and looked at the entrance of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. He knew that it was time to decide his fate. Everyone's gazes also turned towards the entrance of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. A silhouette slowly walked out of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. It was pitch black and his face was revealed. If it wasn't Lu Ming, who else could it be? That kid is coming out. He's safe and sound. Did he get the Heart Jades? That kid must have obtained a large number of Heart Jades. I'm rich. From now on, I won't have to suffer from the Heart Jade magic fire anymore. Among them, the strongest cultivators were extremely excited. They were filled with excitement and excitement. Little boy, do you have any Heart Jades? Hurry up and give them to us. Hurry up and show us. A few cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer immediately walked towards the entrance of the cave while releasing powerful qi. You should let him go first, said Lu Ming pointing at Hao Lu. This caused Hao Lu's heart to feel slightly warm. Lu Ming hadn't forgotten about him. Little boy, you don't have the right to talk about conditions with us. Do you understand? Said the cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer who had captured Hao Lu. Is that so? Didn't you want the Heart Jades? Look at them. Then, Lu Ming waved his hand and more Heart Jades appeared in his hand. There were more than 50 of them. Outside the Heart Jade Devil Cave, over 100 experts widened their eyes, almost popping out of their sockets. Heart Jades, all of them were Heart Jades. There were more than 50 of them. That was more than 50 Heart Jades. They had never seen so many Heart Jades. As expected, Lu Ming had obtained a great harvest in the Heart Jade Magic Cave. They were overjoyed, especially the cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. They were overjoyed. They thought that they were the strongest cultivators there. As long as they didn't kill each other, the Heart Jades would be theirs. They wouldn't have to suffer from the Heart Jade magic fire anymore. "Little boy, quick, give me the Heart Jades, quick," said an old man of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer, staring at Lu Ming. To be exact, he was staring at the Heart Jades in front of Lu Ming. He wanted to take all of them for himself. "Give them to me quick," said another cultivator of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. "Little boy, give them to me. Otherwise, your friend will die miserably," said the cultivator who had captured Hao Lu. He moved closer to the entrance of the cave. However, they didn't dare enter the Heart Jade Magic Cave. They were afraid of it. Lu Ming smiled coldly. He waved his hand and put all the Heart Jades into his ring. His storage ring had originally been given to the Bone Demon. His current storage ring had been given to him by the Sky Heart Tribe. Afterward, Lu Ming's figure retreated rapidly, retreating for dozens of miles. "Little boy, what are you doing? Hand over the Heart Jades. Do you know you want to die?" shouted the cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer furiously. Chapter 4250. When the cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer saw that Lu Ming had put away the Jade Heart and was retreating, they all roared furiously as if they were going to defeat Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming smiled coldly and said, "Didn't you hear me tell you to let him go? If you don't let him go, I'll never come out of this cave. Let's see who has more patience and who can wait. Anyway, I have the Jade Heart, so my soul won't be corroded by the demonic fire." Lu Ming sneered coldly. He simply sat cross-legged on the spot, looking relaxed and carefree. Hao Lu was pleasantly surprised. As expected, this kid was full of tricks. Indeed, Lu Ming had the Jade Heart, so he had the upper hand. He could defeat these strong cultivators for sure. They didn't dare enter the Jade Heart Demon Cave, so they could only listen to Lu Ming. Otherwise, they would never be able to get the Jade Heart. The strong cultivators around the Jade Heart Demon Cave ground their teeth. They wished they could cut Lu Ming into pieces. However, they didn't dare enter the Jade Heart Demon Cave, so they could only stare at each other. Very quickly, 10 days had passed. "Alright, I'll let him go first. But if you dare play any tricks, I'll make sure you die without a burial place." The expert who caught Hao Lu gritted his teeth and said. His eyes were filled with anger. However, no matter how angry he was, he could only suppress it. He waved his hand and Hao Lu flew away, regaining his freedom. As soon as Hao Lu regained his freedom, he flew to the entrance of the Jade Heart Demon Cave. However, he stopped there, not daring to enter. "Come in, it's all right. If there's danger, I'll take care of it," Lu Ming said to Hao Lu. Hao Lu ground his teeth and chose to believe in Lu Ming. He stepped forward and entered the Jade Heart Demon Cave, arriving next to Lu Ming. Of course, he was extremely nervous. He looked around vigilantly. This was the Jade Heart Demon Cave. Who knew how many strong cultivators had died here? It would be strange if he wasn't nervous. Even though Lu Ming could resist the energy of the Jade Heart Demon Cave, he was still nervous. "What do we do now? If we stay here and don't move, those people won't let us go." Hao Lu sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. At the same time, various thoughts were running through his mind. He wanted to think of a way to escape. However, after much thought, the only way he could think of was to stay in the Heart Jade Magic Cave and not leave. "Brat, now that I've released her, hurry up and come out. Give me the Jade Heart." The expert who caught Hao Lu roared. Deep in his eyes, there was a cold, killing intent. He secretly swore in his heart that as long as Lu Ming came out and handed over the Jade Heart, he would make Lu Ming regret his decision just now. He would make Lu Ming suffer a fate worse than death. "Don't go out. These people won't keep their promises. Or, you can force them to swear on their life essence that they won't kill us. Hao Lu hurriedly said to Lu Ming. This old fellow is courting death. Many people glared at Hao Lu, wishing they could slap him to death. If Lu Ming really forced them to swear on their life essence that they wouldn't kill Lu Ming and the rest, they could only let Lu Ming and the rest go. Yes, yes, make them swear. Hao Lu was overjoyed. He didn't expect that he would blurt out such a brilliant idea. After all, Lu Ming had the initiative now. However, Lu Ming had a faint smile on his face and said, "No need to go through so much trouble. Let's go out." After saying that, Lu Ming stepped out. Was there a need to force them to swear on their lives to deal with these people? He had more than 10 experts from the Sky Heart clan. There were peak emperor gods in the Sky Heart clan. These people weren't enough. The reason why he didn't let the people from the Sky Heart clan appear previously was because he was worried about Hao Lu. After all, Hao Lu was in the hands of the other party at that time. Now that Hao Lu had escaped, he didn't have any more worries. However, Hao Lu didn't know about this. When he saw Lu Ming walking out, his expression changed drastically. "Mu Yun, what are you doing? Are you crazy? You're walking right into a trap if you go out now. Are you tired of living?" Hao Lu shouted. The experts outside the Heart Jade Magic Cave were all overjoyed. This brat actually sent himself out. Ha, that's great. Previously, I thought this brat was a troublesome character. I didn't expect this brat's brain to be so bad. When this brat comes out, I'll make him wish he was dead. These people roared in their hearts. Of course, they didn't think of killing Lu Ming. They just wanted to torture Lu Ming and make him regret what he did earlier. Hao Lu shouted anxiously. "I'm fine. Don't worry." Lu Ming turned his head and smiled at Hao Lu. He continued to step out and soon arrived at the entrance of the Heart Jade Magic Cave. Everyone's gaze was fixed on Lu Ming. Bang. Finally, Lu Ming took a step forward and officially left the Heart Jade Demon Cave. He stepped out of the Heart Jade Demon Cave. The eyes of the cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer who were close to the entrance of the Heart Jade Magic Cave suddenly lit up. Cold chi emerged from their bodies. "Little brat, hand over your jades. Give me all your jades of heart," shouted a few cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. "I advise you not to attack. Let us leave. Otherwise you'll die miserably," said Lu Ming indifferently. Many people almost burst into laughter when they heard Lu Ming. What was Lu Ming talking about? A godly emperor cultivator was shamelessly telling a group of cultivators of the 8th and 7th Great Supreme God Layer that if they attacked, they would die miserably. Wasn't that a joke? "Ha, little brat, I think you're crazy. I'll attack. Let's see what you can do to me. Kneel down." A few cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer immediately attacked Lu Ming. They wanted to take Lu Ming's jades first. If they took them first, they would have the upper hand. Maybe they could take them all. 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer had attacked him. Their speed was too fast. Lu Ming couldn't resist such an attack. However, Lu Ming didn't try to dodge. He just stood there motionlessly. "Damn it. We're done for." Hao Lu's face was deathly pale. He couldn't do anything. They were done for. They had worked so hard to gain the upper hand, but now it was gone. However, at that moment, 2 silhouettes suddenly appeared in front of Lu Ming. They were 2 cultivators of the Sky Heart clan. They were 2 cultivators of the 9th Great Supreme God Layer. Bush, 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 bush. The 2 cultivators of the 9th Great Supreme God Layer attacked at the same time. A total of 4 rays of light shot towards the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. Each cultivator of the Sky Heart clan was fighting against 2 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. The difference between 9th and 8th Great Supreme God Layer was too big. They couldn't fight back at all. The 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer couldn't withstand a single attack. The 4 rays of light flashed and the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer stiffened. Chapter 4251. For lights flashed and the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer were petrified. A hole had appeared between their eyebrows and blood was gushing out. Their eyes were wide open as they stared at the 2 cultivators of the Tian Xen clan. They couldn't believe their eyes. They couldn't believe that two such strong cultivators had suddenly appeared in the magic jade cave. At the same time, their eyes were filled with intense fear. Then their life auras rapidly weakened. 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer fell down on the ground, their chi completely gone. They were dead. 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer had been killed in a flash. Everybody was astonished. They were petrified and their eyes were wide open. They stared at the 2 cultivators of the Tian Xen clan and then at Lu Ming. They were just like the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer who had been killed. They were all confused. Why had 2 strong cultivators suddenly appeared in the magic jade cave? What was the relationship between them and Lu Ming? Those 2 cultivators were obviously helping Lu Ming. The 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer had been killed because they wanted to attack Lu Ming. They remembered what Lu Ming had just said. I advise you not to attack, otherwise, you will die miserably. Earlier on, Lu Ming's words seemed like a joke to them. It was comical and ridiculous. But now, they realized that what Lu Ming had said wasn't a joke at all. It was a fact. Unfortunately, nobody had believed him. Therefore, the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer had died. The others shuddered as they secretly rejoiced in their hearts. Especially the other cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer. They were soaked in cold sweat. They felt lucky that they had attacked too slowly. Otherwise, they would have been the ones to die. Hao Lu, who was behind Lu Ming, was dumbstruck. He thought he was dreaming. We'll kill anyone who dares touch Prince Mu Yun. A cold voice was heard from the Heart Jade demonic cave. Elder Xen Wu led a group of people out and came to Lu Ming's side. Of course, it was Elder Xen Wu who had just spoken. Gasps could be heard from the crowd. Those people were even more confused. There were still people in the Heart Jade Devil Cave. And there were so many of them. They all seemed to be incomparably powerful existences. Moreover, he even addressed Lu Ming as young Master Mu Yun. He was completely on Lu Ming's side. What the F***ck is going on? Many people roared in their hearts, unable to understand. Now, is there anyone else who wants the jade heart in my hands? Lu Ming's gaze swept across the crowd as his indifferent voice sounded. No one spoke, no one dared to speak. Nonsense, of course I want it. Whoever doesn't want it is a beast. There were 1,000, 10,000 desires in their hearts. If it was just Lu Ming alone, they would have already snatched it. But now, they glanced at the 4 cultivators of the 8th Great Supreme God layer who had been killed and their hearts were pounding. Whoever wanted her was a beast. Everyone involuntarily stepped back to express their intentions. Although the jade heart was important, compared to being killed right now, it was better to save his life. Hao Lu, let's go. Lu Ming said to Hao Lu, then strode out of the place. Hao Lu hurriedly followed Lu Ming. He was still in a daze. Soon, they left the area. Hao Lu, these 10 jade hearts are for you. Lu Ming waved his hands and 10 pieces of jade heart flew out toward Vast Willow. Hao Lu instinctively reached out his hand to catch them. He was stunned. After a while, his entire body began to tremble. Even his lips were trembling. He was excited. 10 jade hearts, a total of 10 jade hearts. He had never dreamed that he would be able to obtain 10 jade hearts in one go. After a long time, he had finally obtained a jade heart after much effort. That was because not many people knew the secret of the jade heart, so the competition wasn't as fierce as now. He was lucky enough to obtain a jade heart. This time, he didn't have much hope when he brought Lu Ming here. He was just hoping that he would be able to obtain something. He had never thought that it would end up like this. The entire process was full of twists and turns. It was extremely thrilling. Hao Lu, thank you for bringing me here. However, I have other matters to attend to. Let's part ways here. Lu Ming said. Alright. Hao Lu then woke up from his dream. He took a look at the people from Sky Heart Tribe. He knew that Lu Ming had something to attend to and it definitely had something to do with these people. However, these people were extremely powerful and it was obvious that he couldn't interfere. Luckily, he had obtained 10 jade hearts and could use them for a long time. He was already satisfied. Let's part ways here. We'll meet again if fate allows. How Lu cupped his fists. We'll meet again if fate allows. Lu Ming nodded his head and didn't stay any longer. He left with Elder Xen Wu and the rest. After flying for a while, they arrived at a mountain peak. Elder Xen Wu, please wait for me here for a while. Once I've dealt with that matter, I'll meet up with you. Lu Ming said. It's all right. My tribe has waited for a long time and we don't mind waiting a little longer. The two of you follow young Master Mu Yun. Elder Xen Wu nodded and ordered the 2 9th-level Great God Layers from the Sky Heart clan. Yes. The two powerful figures from the Sky Heart clan received the order. Afterward, Lu Ming stepped into the air and left. Lu Ming's matter was naturally Commander Teng Ji's matter. Repay kindness with kindness and revenge with revenge. This was Lu Ming's principle. Commander Teng Ji had dealt with him and he naturally had to take revenge. After a period of time, Lu Ming arrived at the region where Commander Teng Ji was at. Looking from afar, he could see a few red-robed men patrolling the region. It was obvious that the battle had ended and peace had returned. Lu Ming brought the two experts from Sky Heart Tribe and headed forward. Who's there? The moment Lu Ming got close, he was discovered. In a flash, a few red-robed men appeared in front of Lu Ming and the rest. This lad looks familiar. It's that lad, the lad who escaped during the chaos. That old man isn't here. Quick, spread the news. These people quickly recognized Lu Ming and let out a few exclamations. In the beginning, they were afraid that how Lu would be with Lu Ming. They were shocked. However, after scanning the area, they did not see how Lu. They instantly felt at ease. In a flash, they surrounded Lu Ming. As for the two experts from Sky Heart Tribe, they couldn't detect their cultivation levels. The two experts from Sky Heart Tribe were much stronger than them and they couldn't detect their cultivation levels. However, they were still cautious and had some misgivings. Hence, they did not take action directly. Instead, they surrounded Lu Ming and the rest, waiting for the arrival of reinforcements. Chapter 4252. Lu Ming did not make a move. He placed his hands behind his back and waited calmly. Lu Ming did not speak. The two experts from the Sky Heart Tribe naturally did not make a move. They stood beside Lu Ming calmly as though they did not see the red-robed men. In their eyes, the red-robed men were like ants that could be killed easily. Naturally, they did not put them in their eyes. In just half a minute, several figures flew over. They were all red-robed men and there were at least a dozen of them. The leader was an old man in a red robe. He was an old acquaintance of Lu Ming. Back then, he had captured Lu Ming and locked Lu Ming in the dungeon. These red-robed men were very fast. In the blink of an eye, they had arrived. Brat, you still dare to come back? When the red-robed old man saw Lu Ming, he shouted angrily. His eyes were filled with anger. Because of Lu Ming, he had been severely punished by Commander Teng Ji. He hated Lu Ming to the core. Before Lu Ming came, Hao Lu had been locked up for many years without escaping. However, after Lu Ming came, Hao Lu escaped not long after. Commander Teng Ji thought that this had something to do with Lu Ming. Since he was the one who captured Lu Ming, he was naturally implicated. When he saw Lu Ming, the red-robed old man's anger exploded. Teng Ji did not come out. That's good too. I'll deal with you first before dealing with Teng Ji. Lu Ming said indifferently. What? Brat, I think you're courting death. The red-robed old man shouted angrily. Then, he looked at the two experts from the Sky Heart Tribe and his eyes narrowed. Previously, he had focused all his attention on Lu Ming and neglected the two experts from the Sky Heart Tribe. Now that he looked at them, he immediately discovered the problem. His cultivation was much higher than the rest. When he looked at the two experts from the Sky Heart Tribe, he instinctively felt danger. Although they did not release their auras, they still gave him a strong sense of pressure. In addition, since Lu Ming had already escaped, it was strange that he would return. Something's not right. It's a trap. The red-robed old man was shocked, and then he quickly retreated. However, it was already too late. At this moment, Lu Ming had already spoken. Seniors, do it. Lu Ming said. Bush. As soon as Lu Ming finished his words, the two powerful figures from the Sky Heart clan struck. Their figures flashed and turned into phantoms as they charged toward the red-robed men. Fast, too fast. It was so fast that these red-robed men couldn't dodge at all. Puff, puff, puff. The sound of sharp blades piercing flesh rang out. When the two experts from the Sky Heart race stopped, over 10 red-robed cultivators had been pierced through. Their souls had been annihilated. More than 10 red-robed men had fallen, including the red-robed old man. Go! Lu Ming did not even look at these people as he stepped forward. Soon, he leaped over a mountain and the huge fighting stage appeared in front of Lu Ming. On the fighting stage, two figures were fighting fiercely. Above them, Commander Teng Ji was watching. As he watched, his eyes flickered with tyrannical radiance from time to time. During this period of time, he was very unhappy, extremely unhappy. Hao Lu had escaped and he couldn't find a way to resist the heart flame demonic fire. This made the negative emotions in his heart even more explosive and difficult to control. Therefore, during this period of time, he had to watch others fight every day to vent his emotions. If it wasn't for this, he would have gone crazy. Damn Hao Lu and that brat. Damn it. Damn it. Don't let me see you. I'll make you suffer the greatest pain in the world. Commander Teng Ji roared in his heart with a hideous expression. Suddenly, Commander Teng Ji sensed something. He looked up into the sky and his eyes widened abruptly. He naturally saw Lu Ming. Unexpectedly, just as he thought of this brat appeared. Previously, the red-robed elder did not tell Commander Teng Ji that Lu Ming was here. The red-robed elder wanted to take down Lu Ming himself and apologize to Commander Teng Ji. Therefore, Commander Teng Ji did not know that Lu Ming was here. When he saw Lu Ming, he was stunned. Brat, how dare you come back? Where's Hao Lu? Ask him to come out. Commander Teng Ji roared furiously. His body soared into the sky and charged towards Lu Ming. He stretched out his hand and wanted to grab Lu Ming. However, just as he was halfway there, his rapidly moving figure suddenly stopped. His pupils constricted rapidly, revealing a trace of fear. Because he saw two experts from the Sky Heart tribe. His cultivation level was higher than the red-robed elders. He had reached the 7th Heaven Emperor God realm. He realized that the aura of the two experts from the Sky Heart tribe was extremely terrifying. They were many times stronger than him. Terrifying, dangerous, not good. Commander Teng Ji could no longer care about Lu Ming and he retreated rapidly. However, it was too late. One of the experts from the Sky Heart tribe had already attacked. His body flashed and he appeared in front of Commander Teng Ji. No, spare my life. Commander Tungsten let out an earth-shattering cry for mercy. His voice was filled with terror. However, Lu Ming would not let him go. The expert from the Sky Heart tribe attacked without hesitation. Commander Teng Ji roared furiously and used all his strength to resist. However, the difference between the 7th Heaven Emperor God realm and the 9th Heaven Emperor God realm was too great. No matter how he resisted, it was useless. A divine light flashed and Commander Teng Ji's forehead was pierced. He died on the spot. Even at the moment of his death, his eyes were still wide open, filled with unwillingness and confusion. At that moment, the surrounding red-robed men were dumbfounded. Everything had happened too quickly. When Commander Teng Ji saw Lu Ming, he immediately attacked. However, he was killed halfway by the expert from the Sky Heart tribe. Everything had happened in an instant. In the hearts of the red-robed men, the extremely powerful Commander Teng Ji had been killed so easily. It was like a dream. Run! Suddenly, one of the red-robed men shouted and turned around to run. Even Commander Teng Ji had been killed so easily. Wouldn't they be courting death if they stayed behind? The other red-robed men also reacted and fled in all directions. Lu Ming did not ask the experts from the Sky Heart tribe to chase after them. His main target was Commander Teng Ji. As long as he killed Commander Teng Ji, it would be fine. As for the others, as long as they did not take the initiative to die, he would not care. Soon, all the red-robed men had run away. On the fighting stage, the two figures who were fighting stopped and looked at Lu Ming in a daze. They were extremely happy to see Commander Teng Ji being killed. However, there was a formation on the fighting stage and they could not escape immediately. "Seniors, break the formation here and let the two of them out," Lu Ming said to the two experts from the Sky Heart tribe. The two experts from the Sky Heart tribe nodded and attacked. With their cultivation of the ninth heaven emperor god realm, it was not difficult for them to break the formation on the fighting stage. It did not take them long to break the formation on the fighting stage. The two people on the fighting stage were overjoyed. They flew over and cupped their fists. "Thank you, young master, for saving us." Chapter 4253. "You're welcome. We're all victims." Lu Ming smiled. The two of them thanked each other again before leaving the place. Afterward, Lu Ming led the two powerful figures from the Sky Heart clan into the dungeon and released all the living creatures that were imprisoned in the dungeon. Lu Ming also removed the seals on these prisoners. These prisoners were naturally grateful and left one after another. After settling this matter, Lu Ming and the two experts from the Sky Heart tribe left the place to meet up with Elder Xen Wu and head to the Sky Heart tribe together. They were still very far away from the Sky Heart tribe. They traveled continuously for 7 days before arriving at the territory of the Sky Heart tribe. The Sky Heart tribe occupied a vast area in the heavenly prison and thrived there. They wouldn't be corroded by the heart flame demon fire. Over the years, their numbers had multiplied greatly. However, there seemed to be some kind of seal or restriction in the Sky prison. In the Sky prison, one's cultivation could only reach the peak Emperor God realm before it was difficult to break through. Over the years, the Sky Heart tribe had never produced a Divine Lord realm expert. Therefore, they wanted to break the seal and release the sealed Divine Lord realm experts of the Sky Heart tribe. When Lu Ming arrived at the Sky Heart tribe, he received a grand reception. Almost all the upper echelons of the Sky Heart tribe were present to welcome Lu Ming. The Sky Heart tribe was so powerful and prosperous in the past. How could they be willing to accept the fact that they had fallen to such a state? Now, Lu Ming had become their only savior. How could they not value him? Lu Ming rested in the Sky Heart tribe for another 3 days. Then, a big shot from the Sky Heart tribe brought Lu Ming to the place where the seal was. This was a barren land guarded by a large number of experts from the Sky Heart tribe. Outsiders couldn't get close. That is, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed the moment he arrived at this area. There was a shocking scene in the void in front of him. The void in front of him was shaking and twisting continuously like water ripples. However, there were huge chains in the void. These chains crisscrossed and covered the void. There were at least dozens of chains in the air. Dozens of chains had sealed off that area of the void. The power of these chains, Lu Ming sensed it carefully and was shocked. He discovered that the chains weren't real, but were made of energy. Lu Ming was very familiar with this kind of energy. It was very similar to the void destruction energy in the Heart Jade Devil Cave. This is the sealed place. We guessed that there used to be a passage here that led to the place where our Divine Master was trapped. Later, it was sealed by the Heavenly Palace. There are a total of 49 chains here. They are all formed by the power of void destruction. They are extremely terrifying. No matter how many experts we sent, we were unable to break through them. Instead, many of our people died. The Heart Jade Magic Cave's array formation was also imitated by our clan's array formation masters after studying these chains for a very long time. However, it is far inferior to the void annihilation power of these chains. At the side, Elder Xen Wu explained to Lu Ming. Lu Ming nodded. He had more or less guessed it. "Little friend Mu Yun, we will have to rely on you for the rest. However, the void destruction energy of these chains is extremely terrifying. You must be careful," another elder from the Sky Heart clan said. This person was called Xen Fan and he was the patriarch of the Sky Heart clan. "Patriarch, don't worry. I will do my best." Lu Ming nodded. If he could release the Divine Master Realm expert from the Sky Heart clan, he was naturally willing. It was too difficult for him to escape from the heavenly prison with his own cultivation. It was almost impossible. Therefore, only by creating some chaos and uncertainty would he be able to escape. Releasing the Divine Master Realm expert from the Sky Heart clan was to create uncertainty. On the surface, it looked like he was helping the Sky Heart clan. However, he was also helping himself. Lu Ming observed for a while before he walked toward one of the chains. From afar, the chains didn't look big. However, when he got closer, he realized that the chains were extremely huge. Every chain was bigger than a vast mountain range. Lu Ming's size was like a speck of dust compared to the chains. Lu Ming slowly approached one of the chains. When he got closer, the chain emitted a terrifying fluctuation. A formless energy rushed toward Lu Ming. This energy was extremely terrifying. It was as though it could destroy everything. Its aura was very similar to the arc-shaped light that flew out from the Heart Jade Magic Cave. However, it was even more terrifying. After all, the arc-shaped light from the Heart Jade Magic Cave was created by the Sky Heart clan to imitate the chains. The power of the imitation naturally couldn't be compared to the real thing. From afar, all the big shots from the Sky Heart clan stared at Lu Ming. Their heartbeats quickened and their breathing quickened. They were anticipating and nervous at the same time. Although they had heard from Elder Xen Wu that Lu Ming could break the Heart Jade Magic Cave's array, they hadn't seen it with their own eyes. Moreover, the energy of these chains was vast and boundless. They were many times more powerful than the array that they had set up. It was still unknown whether Lu Ming could break them. This concerned the fate of their clan. It would be strange if they weren't nervous. Lu Ming circulated his taboo energy and covered his body with it. He allowed the formless energy to rush over. That energy was like a gale that blew past Lu Ming's body. However, when it got close to Lu Ming's body, it automatically moved aside. The taboo energy on Lu Ming's body directly cut off that energy. It's effective. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. As for the experts from the Sky Heart clan, their eyes lit up as well. They were delighted. Although Lu Ming hadn't officially started to break the chains, they knew very well that it was extremely dangerous to get close to the chains. The Sky Heart clan had paid a huge price in the past. However, Lu Ming was fine. This meant that there was hope. They had succeeded in the first step. Lu Ming continued to move forward and approach the chains. Formless void energy rushed towards Lu Ming from the chains. However, it was all blocked by the taboo energy. Soon, Lu Ming arrived at the bottom of the chain. What followed was the real beginning. Lu Ming needed to use the taboo energy to destroy the chains. Lu Ming stretched out his palm and circulated the taboo energy as he slowly approached the chains. Everyone from the Sky Heart clan felt their hearts rise to their throats. Whether or not it would be effective and whether or not it would succeed would depend on this move. Finally, Lu Ming's palm pressed against the chains. Boom! Lu Ming felt as though the chains had exploded. The berserk void energy rushed towards Lu Ming as though he had poked a hornet's nest. The entire chain was formed by the void energy. Once it exploded, it would be extremely terrifying. Lu Ming's face changed slightly as he released the taboo energy. Chapter 4254. Lu Ming unleashed his taboo energy and struck out. The taboo energy was like a pillar as it rushed towards the void annihilation energy. Boom! There was a loud bang. The force of void annihilation was penetrated and Lu Ming was unscathed. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The taboo energy was indeed able to break through the void annihilation energy. Let's continue then. Lu Ming placed his palm on the chain as the taboo energy surged out and struck the chain. The chain vibrated continuously as the void annihilation energy surged out. However, Lu Ming broke through it. The void annihilation energy here was stronger than the void annihilation energy in the Heart Jade Demon Cave. However, it couldn't harm Lu Ming. When the taboo energy surged out and broke through the void annihilation energy, it also refined a portion of the void annihilation energy. This way, the void annihilation energy on the chain would be reduced slightly. After a while, the area where Lu Ming's palm was placed on the chain dimmed. It's really effective. It's really effective. Seeing this scene, the Sky Heart tribe members were ecstatic. Previously, they were still worried that Lu Ming wouldn't be able to deal with the void annihilation energy. Now that they saw that Lu Ming was able to refine it, they could finally relax. As long as he could refine it, it didn't matter if the speed was slow. Over time, he would be able to refine it. Lu Ming continued to pour in his taboo energy. After a few hours, Lu Ming suddenly retreated and distanced himself from the chain. His taboo energy was almost depleted and he needed to replenish it. I reckon that it will take a long time. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. After a few hours, the chain had only been refined a little. He didn't know how long it would take to refine the void annihilation energy on the entire chain. Moreover, there were a total of 49 chains like this. He hoped that the people from the heavenly palace wouldn't discover it. Little brother Mu Yun, you've worked hard. Patriarch Xen Fan stepped forward with a smile on his face. He was so happy that he finally saw hope. I'm ashamed. My cultivation is too weak. I don't know how long it will take for me to refine it. Lu Ming said. It doesn't matter. My clan has waited for a long time, so it doesn't matter if we wait a little longer. Little brother Mu Yun, you should be exhausted, right? If you need anything to recover, just tell me. Xian Fan said. I need a treasure that contains pure energy, or a treasure that contains rich life force, Lu Ming said. That's easy. I have quite a lot here. If it's not enough, I'll immediately send a message back to get more for you, Xian Fan said. With a wave of his hand, one pitch-black crystal after another flew out towards Lu Ming. There were tens of thousands of them. Lu Ming waved his hand and put the crystals away. He then took out a piece and sensed it. He immediately discovered that the crystals did indeed contain an extremely pure energy. This energy was similar to the elvenwood core, but the energy it contained was even denser than the elvenwood core. This is really good stuff. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He then sat down cross-legged and began to absorb it. The energy in the crystal was absorbed and dispersed into every cell in his body. It was then converted into forbidden energy for Lu Ming to use. It didn't take long for Lu Ming to recover to his peak state. After recovering, Lu Ming continued to refine the chain. When his energy was exhausted, he returned to absorb the energy of the crystal to recover. Just like that, the cycle repeated itself. Time passed day by day. As time passed, the void annihilation energy on the chain grew dimmer and dimmer. In the blink of an eye, 10 years had passed. Lu Ming spent a total of 10 years before he finally refined one of the chains completely. Phew, the progress is faster than I expected. Lu Ming breathed a sigh of relief. If he took 10 years to refine one chain, he would be able to refine all 49 chains in 490 years. What was 490 years to them? It was just a blink of an eye. After refining the first chain, he started to refine the second chain. It was worth mentioning that during this period, the Sky Heart tribe sent Lu Ming a large number of black crystals. There were hundreds of thousands of them to ensure that Lu Ming had sufficient energy. Lu Ming naturally kept them without hesitation. He knew very well that he did not need so many crystals to refine the 49 chains. However, Lu Ming had no intention of returning the extra crystals. The more such treasures, the better. Time passed quickly year after year. Finally, after 490 years, the 49 chains were completely refined by Lu Ming. When the last chain disappeared, Lu Ming quickly retreated to the side of the expert from the Sky Heart tribe. Rumble. The void began to tremble violently. The void rippled like water. Suddenly, a black dot appeared in the middle of the void. This black dot seemed to have a great attractive force that sucked in everything around it. And this black dot was rapidly growing in size. Soon, the black dot turned into a huge black hole that was dozens of meters in diameter. Through the black hole, one could vaguely see that there were spots of starlight on the other side. However, they were very dim. Starlight? Could this hole lead to the chaotic universe? Lu Ming's heart was beating wildly. If it led directly to the chaotic universe, wouldn't he be able to escape directly? The eyes of the experts from the Sky Heart tribe lit up. Obviously, they had thought of this too. Could it lead directly to the chaotic universe? Someone whispered. I'm not sure. Even if it doesn't lead to the chaotic universe, it should lead to the place where our divine master experts are imprisoned. This is a good thing for us. That's right. The passageway has been formed. Once it stabilizes, we'll immediately send someone to check it out. The experts from the Sky Heart tribe spoke one after another and decided on a plan. Everyone waited quietly. After about 3 days, the passageway stabilized completely. Holes that were 1,000 meters in diameter appeared in the air. Patriarch let set off. Immediately, more than 10 people asked for permission. These people were the top experts from the Sky Heart tribe. All of them were peak emperor gods. All right. Be careful. If there's anything, report back immediately, Elder Xian Fan said. Then the experts from the Sky Heart tribe set off. They flew toward the black hole and disappeared within it. Everyone waited anxiously, especially the Sky Heart tribe. After spending countless years and exhausting countless efforts, would he be able to succeed this time? Although they guessed that the Divine Master experts from the Sky Heart tribe were imprisoned on the other side of the black hole, they weren't sure if it was true. Lu Ming was also filled with anticipation. In fact, he was more excited to see the chaotic universe on the other side. Then he could escape directly. This was because even if they released the Divine Master experts from the Sky Heart tribe, they would only have the hope of escaping. They might not be able to escape. Chapter 4255. They did not have to wait for long. About half an hour later, some people flew over from the other side of the hole. They were the men from the Sky Heart tribe. However, at that moment, the dozen or so Sky Heart clan members all had terrified looks on their faces. Their faces were pale and they were covered in cold sweat. They flew over quickly as though they had encountered something terrifying. Clan leader Xian Fan and the others were nervous. They released their auras and were prepared for a big battle. They thought that there would be some terrifying existence coming from the other side of the black hole. However, when the men from the Sky Heart tribe arrived, there was nothing coming after them. What's going on? Why are you so terrified? What did you encounter? Clan leader Xian Fan shouted and asked the men from the Sky Heart tribe. However, he did not let his guard down and continued to stare at the black hole. Corpses, terrifying corpses, one of the old men from the Sky Heart tribe said. He was an elder of the Sky Heart tribe and he was a peak emperor god. However, at this moment he was terrified. Corpses? What's going on? Is there any danger over there? Did you find any divine masters? Elder Xian Fan asked a few questions. No, there is no danger over there and no divine masters have been found. There are only corpses over there. A large number of corpses. Clan leader, you will know when you go over. The elder from the Sky Heart tribe said. The hearts of clan leader Xian Fan and the others sank. They did not see any divine masters from the Sky Heart tribe. Could it be that the divine masters from the Sky Heart tribe were not imprisoned over there? Since there is no danger, why don't we go over and take a look? Lu Ming said. All right, let's go over and take a look. Clan leader Xian Fan nodded. Only a few of them were left behind in case of an emergency. The rest of them flew towards the black hole, including Lu Ming. Lu Ming was also curious about the situation over there. Soon, they passed through the black hole and came to an unfamiliar region. It was indeed a starry sky with specks of starlight. However, when they looked into the distance, their faces changed drastically. Corpses. They were all corpses. There were corpses floating in the starry sky in front of them. These corpses belonged to various living beings and they were huge. The small ones were the size of a mountain while the large ones were the size of a planet or even bigger than a planet. That is, the corpse of a primordial divine spirit. When Lu Ming's gaze landed on the largest corpse, he couldn't help but exclaim. The corpse was even larger than a planet. Its fist was equivalent to a planet. Judging from its size, it was easy to tell that it was a primordial god. Only, this primordial deity's head was gone, as if it had been chopped off by someone. Let's go and take a look. Xian Fan Patriarch suppressed the shock in his heart and said. Everyone nodded and flew forward. It did not take long for them to reach the large number of corpses. From afar, the corpses seemed to be packed together, but when they got closer, they realized that the corpses were separated from each other by a large distance. There was not a single trace of life. They were all dead. Some were split into two halves, some had their heads chopped open, and some had their glabella pierced. All of them had been killed by terrifying means. Furthermore, each of the corpses was emitting a terrifying aura. It was so piercing that their skin felt like it was being cut apart. What terrifying auras! Could these corpses have all been divine masters when they were alive? Lu Ming muttered in a low voice. His voice was extremely solemn. Yes, divine masters. All of them were divine masters. Why are there so many corpses? What is going on? Xan Fan Patriarch said. His voice was trembling, and his face was filled with fear. There were too many corpses. At a glance, there were no less than 1,000 corpses. These were all Divine Master Realm experts. Anyone who saw over 1,000 Divine Master Realm experts' corpses at once would be terrified. These were Divine Masters, the pinnacle of combat strength in the universe. The more they looked, the more terrified they became. Was this a place where Divine Masters were buried? As for who did this, it was needless to say that it was the Heavenly Palace. The Heavenly Palace had actually slaughtered so many Divine Master Realm experts and buried them here. They suppressed the fear in their hearts and continued to look. There were all kinds of races. Lu Ming saw a gigantic divine dragon. The dragon's body was billions of miles long, and the aura it emitted was extremely terrifying. There was also a phoenix that was as big as a planet. Among them, there were some special races that Lu Ming had never heard of before. Can I take away the original Divine Spirit's corpse? Lu Ming suppressed the shock in his heart and started to think. These were all Divine Master corpses. It could be said that they were all priceless treasures. Especially if there were any corpses of Devil Lords or Fiend Divine Lords. Those would be of great use to Bone Devils. Lu Ming flew towards the original Divine Spirit's corpse. The original Divine Spirit's corpse was emitting a terrifying qi. That qi cut Lu Ming's body like a knife. Lu Ming circulated the taboo power with all his might to resist this aura. The original Divine Spirit had been dead for many years. Even though the qi was terrifying, it wasn't unstoppable. Ordinary cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer wouldn't have been able to resist it. They would have been killed as soon as they got close. However, Lu Ming was much stronger than ordinary cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. He could resist that qi. After getting closer, Lu Ming looked at the corpse carefully. There's no blood. The blood has dried up. What should I do? Lu Ming frowned. The corpse was too big. It was impossible to carry it all away. His interspatial ring couldn't hold it. He could only get some blood and bones. But there wasn't any. Let's see if I can cut off some bones. Lu Ming took out a battle sword and slashed at the original Divine Spirit's body. But the sword bounced back. It didn't leave a single mark on the original Divine Spirit's skin. Lu Ming tried again, but it didn't work. In the end, he gave up. When the Sky Heart clan saw Lu Ming's reaction, they were also tempted. They sent Divine Masters to take some materials back. However, even though they were peak Great Supreme Gods, they couldn't do it. In the end, they came up empty-handed. Let's go to other places, said Xian Fan. They had come to look for the Divine Masters of the Sky Heart clan. Since they hadn't found any, they weren't willing to give up. They wanted to continue looking. They chose a direction and continued flying. Then they found more corpses. In the end, they found a few thousand corpses. They were all Divine Masters. It was terrifying. They were all Divine Masters' corpses. Our Divine Masters, shouted an elder of the Sky Heart clan suddenly. Chapter 4256. That is our tribe's Divine Master, an elder from the Sky Heart tribe exclaimed. Everyone was shocked and they immediately looked in a direction. Everyone from the Sky Heart tribe turned pale when they saw that direction. Their faces turned pale. There was indeed a member of the Sky Heart tribe there. However, it was a corpse. Just like the other corpses, it was floating there quietly. Everyone from the Sky Heart race had pale faces. They had put in so much effort to find the Divine Master of the Sky Heart tribe and hoped that the Divine Master of the Sky Heart tribe would bring them out of this place. Was this the outcome? Their eyes were filled with despair. There is... Another member of the Sky Heart tribe pointed into the distance and said with a trembling voice. Everyone looked over and saw another corpse of the Sky Heart tribe. Judging from its aura, it was also a Divine Master. Xan Fan and the rest turned even paler. Indeed, they found a few more corpses of the divine masters of the Sky Heart tribe. They had found 5 corpses in total. At that moment, everyone from the Sky Heart tribe was filled with despair. There was no need to search anymore. It was obvious that the divine master of the Sky Heart tribe was dead. He was not trapped in a certain place. He had been killed. Despair filled their faces. Especially Xan Fan and the rest, they looked as though they had aged countless years in an instant. Is our Sky Heart tribe destined to perish? Destined to be imprisoned in the Sky Prison forever? Clan leader Xan Fan sighed. Does clan leader Xan Fan want to give up? We might be able to find a way out here. Lu Ming said. His words lit up the eyes of clan leader Xan Fan and the rest. Yes, they had not given up hope yet. Although the divine master of the Sky Heart tribe was dead, it did not mean that they could not leave this place. Perhaps there was a way out of this place where the divine master was buried? They could not give up. Let's continue forward. Clan leader Xan Fan said. They immediately decided on a direction and continued forward. Slowly, the number of corpses floating in the air decreased. Not long after, their vision cleared up. There were no more corpses in front of them. It was a starry sky. The starry sky was empty and deep. They could not see the end of it. They looked hopeful as they continued forward. In front of them, they didn't see any more divine master corpses. However, this part of the starry sky was very strange. There were very few stars, and they could only see a few stars occasionally. They flew forward for several days and found nothing. It seems like this place is also a cage that buries the corpses of god lords. An elder of the Sky Heart race sighed. The last glimmer of hope in his eyes disappeared without a trace. It was the same for the other Sky Heart tribe members. Is there really no way out? Lu Ming's heart began to waver. No, as long as there's still a glimmer of hope, I can't give up. Lu Ming shook his head, and his gaze became firm again. Immediately, they continued their journey. Although the members of the Sky Heart race were in despair, they didn't want to give up just like that. In the blink of an eye, another few days passed. Look, that's a universe black hole. Suddenly, an elder from the Sky Heart race pointed to the front. Everyone looked over. Sure enough, an incomparably deep black hole had appeared in the starry sky ahead. It was incomparably huge, floating in the universe. There were no stars or substances in the surroundings. Not even light could be seen. A universe black hole. This was a true universe black hole. It had an incomparably terrifying attractive force that could suck in any matter, including light. Everyone's expression turned solemn. There was actually a universe black hole here. In the universe black holes were generally forbidden grounds. Even god emperors would find it hard to escape if they were trapped inside. Not to mention god emperors, even some god lords would be in danger if they were trapped inside. Let's go around it. Don't go near it. Clan leader Xan Fan said. Everyone nodded and planned to go around it. Everyone flew to the side. Something's not right. Look, there's something in the universe black hole. Suddenly, someone shouted. At this moment, everyone's pupils contracted. Because they had also noticed something. At the core of the universe black hole, there was light spreading out. The universe black hole that was said to be able to devour light actually had light spreading out. It was truly shocking. Everyone took a closer look, and their hearts beat wildly. It seemed to be a coffin, a golden coffin. In the universe black hole, there was actually a golden coffin floating. This was somewhat unbelievable. Who was buried in the coffin? It was actually emitting light and people outside could see it. This place is not to be underestimated. Clan leader Xan Fan said solemnly. Indeed, it might be an important place in the Heavenly Palace. Let's take a look. An elder of the Sky Heart clan said. Everyone nodded and went around the universe black hole from afar. However, not long after, they saw another shocking scene. Because they saw a second universe black hole. In this universe black hole, there was also light emitting out. They also saw something. There was a cage in this black hole. It was made of some kind of strange metal. Inside the cage, one could vaguely see a creature. It was extremely tall and sturdy, and it was incomparably huge. It was lying in the cage, motionless. These universe black holes, could they really be cages that trap some terrifying existence? An elder of the Sky Heart clan said with a trembling voice. The rest did not speak, but their expressions were solemn. They also had the same guess in their hearts. Next, they continued to move forward and discovered a few more universe black holes. Without exception, there was something in every universe black hole. Some of them were cages, some were coffins, and some were even big boxes. They even saw a massive life form floating in the center of the universe's black hole. This life form's body was pierced through by chains, and the other end of the chains extended into the depths of the universe's black hole. It was unknown where it led. Terrifying, extremely terrifying. In every universe black hole, there was a high possibility that an extremely powerful being was trapped. These beings were definitely terrifying. Moreover, no one knew if they were dead or alive. No one knew how long these living beings had been trapped. Some of them might have already fallen. Forget it, it seems like this is also a cage. A cage that is of a higher level than the heavenly prison. It's impossible for us to get out. Let's give up. An elder of the Sky Heart clan sighed. His eyes were filled with despair. The rest of the Sky Heart clan, including the clan leader of the Sky Heart clan, were similar. It was obvious that this was indeed a cage, a higher level cage. The heavenly prison imprisoned those below the almighty realm. However, this place imprisoned those above the almighty realm. Moreover, even if the almighty realm of the heavenly human tribe was still alive, they were trapped in the universe black hole. It was impossible for them to rescue them. Once they got close to the black hole, they would be devoured by the power of the black hole. Chapter 4257. Let's go back. It's futile to continue searching. If we encounter the people from the heavenly palace, we won't even be able to preserve the last of our bloodline. Clan leader Xen Fan sighed and made his decision. The other powerful figures from the Sky Heart tribe nodded as well. They then turned and headed in the direction they came from. After flying for a while, Elder Xen Fan stopped and turned to Lu Ming. Brother Mu Yun, aren't you leaving? Yes, Lu Ming had been standing there and he didn't follow clan leader Xen Fan and the others. Clan leader Xen Fan, you guys go back first. I'll take a look around. Lu Ming said. He was still unwilling to give up and wanted to continue exploring. Alright, be careful. I'll leave someone at the entrance to wait for you. Clan leader Xen Fan said. Clan leader, don't worry. If anything happens to me, I won't say a word about the Sky Heart tribe. Lu Ming said. Clan leader Xen Fan and the others were relieved. They bade farewell to Lu Ming and flew back to the direction they came from. Soon, they disappeared from Lu Ming's sight. Lu Ming sized up the surroundings and then continued to fly in the direction that he had been heading earlier. Next, Lu Ming saw a few more universe black holes. Without exception, there were things in the universe black holes. To think that there are so many black holes in the universe here. It doesn't make sense for them to be so densely packed. Could it be that they were opened by the experts of the Heavenly Palace? Such combat strength is really incredible, Lu Ming thought. The strength of the Heavenly Palace was even more unfathomable. The universe black holes were terrifying. Even divine masters would be in danger if they entered. However, they were opened up and used to imprison criminals. It was shocking. The living beings in the universe black holes should be dead. There's no movement. After all, the living beings in the universe black holes had been trapped for many years. It was normal for them to die. Lu Ming didn't give up and continued to fly. And that seems to be a human. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. In front of him, another cosmic black hole appeared. In the center of this cosmic black hole, there was a figure. This figure looked exactly the same as a human. He floated there, his hair disheveled. His body was bound by 8 chains, and the other end of the chains led to the depths of the universe's black hole. It was very strange. He was clearly in the black hole of the universe. The black hole of the universe could devour everything, including light. Moreover, this figure was extremely small compared to the black hole of the universe. However, Lu Ming could see this figure clearly. It was a marvelous feeling. It was as if this figure was emitting a marvelous light that allowed Lu Ming to see it clearly. This should be a human. There's no mistake about it. It's a pity that such a powerful being of the human race has died. Lu Ming shook his head and sighed inwardly. Just as he was about to go around the black hole and leave, his body suddenly stiffened. That's not right. Just now, he seemed to have moved. Lu Ming's heart was beating wildly. He clearly saw the finger of the figure in the black hole twitch slightly. If it was an ordinary person, they might suspect that they were hallucinating. However, at Lu Ming's level, it was almost impossible for him to have hallucinations. He was 100% sure that the figure's finger did move just now. Could it be that this figure is still alive? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat as a thought flashed across his mind. If the figure was still alive, perhaps he could learn some secrets of this place from him. As for rescuing the figure, sorry, Lu Ming didn't have that ability yet. Lu Ming's eyes widened as he stared at the figure in the cosmic black hole. After a while, the figure's finger twitched again. That's right, he was right. This person was definitely still alive. Lu Ming looked hopeful as he continued to watch. Next, the figure's finger twitched a few times in a row. Then, his arm suddenly moved. Clang. The chains on his arm vibrated and came out of the black hole. Swish. After that, Lu Ming saw two dazzling rays of light emerge from the figure's messy hair. Those two rays of light were like divine swords that pierced through the darkness. It was dazzling. It came from the figure's eyes. So, it's a little boy of the 9th godly emperor layer. A deep voice came from the person's mouth, and it was filled with disappointment. Clang. The figure's body shook, and the chains around him rattled. He raised his head and revealed his face. He was very young, around 20 years old. He was very handsome. His eyes were filled with divine light. It seemed like sword lights were flying out of his eyes, as if they were going to pierce through the sky. That person's voice can come out. Lu Ming was surprised. The cosmic black hole could swallow everything, even light. Of course, it could swallow sound. However, that person's voice could come out as well as the sound of the chains. Lu Ming could only conclude that that person's cultivation level was too high. It was beyond common sense. My voice can't come out, whispered Lu Ming. His cultivation level wasn't that high. If he spoke, he would be swallowed by the cosmic black hole. Your voice can't come out, but I can hear it, whispered Lu Ming. The other person's voice came again. You can hear me? Lu Ming was delighted. He hastily cupped his fist and asked, Master, who are you? How come you're trapped here? Puma, it's a long story. I'm curious though. You're just a tiny cultivator of the 9th godly emperor layer. How come you're here? No, wait. Suddenly, the other party seemed to have discovered the sound. There was an even more dazzling glow in his eyes. He stared intently at Lu Ming, as though he wanted to see through all of Lu Ming's secrets. Forbidden strength. You can control forbidden strength. You have a forbidden body? A shocked voice sounded from that figure's mouth. Lu Ming frowned and said, How can you tell? He was really surprised. Forbidden strength was difficult to see on the surface. When he was in the heavenly palace, even the Lord of Heaven hadn't been able to see through it. But the person in front of him was separated by a cosmic black hole. They were so far apart and he was trapped. How could he see that he controlled forbidden strength? Don't be surprised. I'm very familiar with forbidden strength because my teacher has a forbidden body. How could I not see through it? Laughed the voice. What? Lu Ming was astonished. The other person's teacher had a forbidden body. Until now, Lu Ming only knew of 3 people with taboo bodies. One was Fei Huang. One was the leader of the ancient divine court. The other was Xian Yanqing's previous life, Tang Qing's father. Who was the other person's teacher? Was it one of them? Chapter 4258. Is your master senior Fei Huang, the lord of the grand ancient divine court, or is his surname Tang? Lu Ming asked the question in his heart. Little guy, you know a lot at such a young age. To tell you the truth, my master's surname is Tang. The figure in the black hole said. His surname is really Tang. Is he really Xiao Qing's father in her previous life? Many thoughts emerged in Lu Ming's mind. If it was true, then he had met one of his own. Senior, do you know Tang Jun and Tang Qing? Lu Ming asked. Tang Jun and Tang Qing are my master's daughters and my junior sisters. How can I not know them? It's a pity that they died in the battle back then. It's a pity that the heavens are jealous of geniuses. Their talent is much higher than mine. The man in the black hole sighed deeply and suddenly thought of something. He stared at Lu Ming and said, "The two junior sisters have died countless years ago. How do you know their names? You said Senior Fei Huang just now. You know Senior Fei Huang. She told you, right? The Tang Qing and Tang Jun are not dead. They are still alive." Lu Ming said, "Still alive? How is that possible? They died in the battle back then. How can they still be alive? Kid, don't try to lie to me." The man in the black hole said, They did die in their previous life, but they reincarnated." Lu Ming said, "Ha ha ha, reincarnation? How is that possible? Who in the world can really reincarnate? No, did my master succeed? Yes, my master must have succeeded." The man in the black hole first muttered to himself, then laughed crazily. "Senior, what I said is true. Tang Qing reincarnated as Xian Yanqing, and she is my wife," Lu Ming said. "Your wife?" The man in the black hole widened his eyes again. His eyes widened as he stared at Lu Ming. After a long while, he guessed, "You have a taboo body. You are worthy of junior sister. In that case, we are on the same side. I hope you didn't lie to me." "Senior, I can swear that everything I said just now is true." "Oh right, junior is Lu Ming. How should I address senior?" Lu Ming said, "Since the other party was Xian Yanqing's senior brother in his previous life, then they were on the same side." Lu Ming naturally had no need to hide his name. "Back then, people called me the Third Demon Sword. You can call me the Third Demon Sword," the man in the black hole said. "The Third Demon Sword? What a strange name." Lu Ming muttered in his heart. "No, the two junior sisters are fine. This is great. I must go out and meet them," the Third Demon Sword muttered to himself. At the same time, a powerful aura erupted from his body as he struggled with all his might. Clang! Clang! The chains began to shake violently, emitting violent vibrations. In the end, the Third Demon Sword couldn't break free. "Damn it, my power has been sealed and I'm far from my peak state. I can't get out at all." The Third Demon Sword roared. Then he looked at Lu Ming and said, "Lu Ming, you have a taboo body and are the husband of my junior sisters. We are on the same side. You have to help me get out of this black hole. As long as you help me leave this black hole, I can take you out of here." Hearing the Third Demon Sword's words, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. As long as the other party could escape, he could take him out of here. This made Lu Ming very tempted. However, he was immediately discouraged. The other party was in the universe's black hole. How could he help? "Senior, you are in the universe's black hole. I can't help you at all. With my cultivation, once I step into the universe's black hole, I will be completely swallowed by the power of the universe's black hole." Lu Ming said, "This is a problem. With your taboo power, you should be able to help me cut these chains, but you can't come in at all." The Third Demon Sword frowned and thought. After a while, the Third Demon Sword said, "The main thing is that my power is too weak. If I can recover a part of my power, I can take you into the black hole. How can I help you recover a part of your power? I have some crystal stones here. I don't know if they can help." Lu Ming took out the crystal stones given to him by the Sky Heart clan. He had used half of them before, so there was still half left. "It's useless. This energy is too weak. It won't be of much use to me. If you want to help me recover my power, there is only one way." At this point, the Third Demon Sword stopped. "What?" Lu Ming asked. "I am a sword cultivator. Around this starry sky, there should be many floating corpses and even some broken magic weapons. Among them, there are some sword-type magic weapons that will be of great use to me. If you can get me a few sword-type magic weapons for me to absorb, my power will recover a lot. However, this world can also be called a prison. It is patrolled by experts from the Heavenly Palace. If you encounter them, it will be very dangerous. The third demon sword Dao. Broken magic weapons? Why haven't I seen them before? Lu Ming was puzzled. He had only seen corpses and not broken magic weapons. You came from that direction, right? There might not be any in that direction, but there should be in the opposite direction. If I remember correctly, there should be an ancient battlefield in that direction. There should be broken magic weapons floating there. The third demon sword explained. Okay, I'll get you some broken sword-type magic weapons. Lu Ming nodded, his eyes resolute. If he wanted to leave this place, he had to take this risk. Otherwise, he would be imprisoned here for the rest of his life. How could he be willing to accept that? Moreover, even if he encountered experts from the Heavenly Palace, they might not kill him. If they killed him, how could the Heavenly Palace obtain the forbidden power? Therefore, he decided to take action. After asking for directions, Lu Ming flew in that direction. Next, Lu Ming passed by at least a dozen black holes. However, there was no movement in them. They were all very quiet, and he did not know whether they were dead or alive. Lu Ming ignored them and continued forward. Finally, he saw a large number of objects floating in the starry sky ahead. Broken stars, dilapidated palaces, corpses of experts, and broken magic weapons. This place really did look like an ancient battlefield. Sword-type magic weapons? Lu Ming looked around and began to look for sword-type magic weapons. Got it. Not long after, Lu Ming saw a battle sword. Only half of the sword was left, but it was enormous. It floated there for millions of miles. It's so big. How can I take it away? Lu Ming felt a headache coming on. He flew over and tried to put it into his storage ring, but he failed. I can only push it over. I hope I won't be discovered. Lu Ming thought helplessly. This broken magic weapon must have been of a very high level before it was broken. Even now, it was still emitting terrifying fluctuations. However, too many years had passed, and Lu Ming could still bear the remaining fluctuations. Chapter 4259. Lu Ming placed his palms on the back of the broken divine weapon and pushed it with all his might. Fortunately, this was the void and there were no obstacles. It was not too difficult to push it. He just needed to avoid the black holes in the universe. 2 days later, Lu Ming finally pushed the broken battle sword to the side of the black hole where the third demon sword was. Go! Lu Ming pushed with all his might and the broken battle sword flew into the black hole. Buzz! When the broken battle sword flew into the black hole, it seemed to be under great pressure and the sword began to vibrate. However, this battle sword was obviously of a very high level and its material was extraordinary. It was incomparably hard and successfully blocked the suction force of the black hole. Soon, the broken battle sword was not far from the third demon sword. Whoosh! The third demon sword opened its mouth and inhaled. A powerful suction force was generated and the broken battle sword flew quickly into its mouth. The sword that was originally 1,000,000 meters long quickly shrank and flew into the third demon sword's mouth and disappeared. The third demon sword's body swelled a little, but it disappeared immediately. A light flashed in its eyes and quickly disappeared. Not bad. This broken battle sword helped me recover a lot of strength. Unfortunately, it's not enough. If only I had 2 more of this type of battle sword. The third demon sword said, I'll continue to search. Lu Ming gritted his teeth and continued to head toward the previous battlefield. Very soon he returned there. There were many broken divine weapons here. Many of them were incomparably huge and emitted terrifying fluctuations. If only Qiuqiu was here, it would be great. Unfortunately, I can't take most of them away. Let's see if I can take some of the smaller ones. Lu Ming pondered and then began to search. He picked a very small divine weapon and activated the storage ring. This time, he successfully put away the broken divine weapon. This small one is really possible. I'll collect more. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Although this small divine weapon was not as extraordinary as the large ones, it was still not to be underestimated. It was definitely a rare treasure for Qiuqiu. In the end, Lu Ming collected over 100 small broken divine weapons before he stopped. Then, Lu Ming found an incomparably huge broken sword and continued to push it towards the black hole where the third demon sword was. Nothing unusual happened along the way. When he returned to the black hole, he repeated the same trick and pushed the broken sword towards the third demon sword. After swallowing the third devil sword, Lu Ming returned to the battlefield. As long as there was another broken sword of the same level, it would be enough. Lu Ming continued his search. Suddenly, Lu Ming's pupils shrank, because he sensed that there was a light shadow rapidly flying towards them from afar. Someone was coming. Lu Ming's heart raced. Those who could move freely here were most likely from the heavenly palace. Fortunately, the battlefield he was in was filled with huge corpses, broken divine weapons, and dilapidated palaces. Compared to them, he was as small as a speck of dust. The other party probably hadn't discovered him yet. However, he had to find a way to hide. When the other party got closer, they might discover him. What should I do? Where should I hide? Lu Ming's mind raced, and then his eyes swept across a huge corpse. It was a huge creature, like a lion, but it had no hair on its body, only scales. That's it. Lu Ming flew directly towards the lion-like creature, and then rushed into one of the scales. This kind of creature was too big, and a scale was incomparably huge, making it easy to hide. Roar! As soon as Lu Ming hid, he heard a roar. This is the sound of a dragon's roar. Is this the Dragon Clan? Why would there be a Dragon Clan here? Lu Ming was extremely surprised. The Divine Dragon Clan was destroyed by the Heavenly Palace back then. Why would there be a Dragon Clan here? Could it be that they were also trapped here? And judging from the sound, the aura was extremely terrifying, as if it had reached the peak Divine Emperor realm. Lu Ming was very curious. He didn't dare to spread out his spiritual consciousness, but secretly stuck his head out to look. Outside, there was a war chariot. He could see a golden-haired middle-aged man sitting on the war chariot, obviously from the Heavenly Human Clan. And in front of the war chariot, there were 9 divine dragons. These 9 divine dragons were used to pull the war chariot. Damn it, it seems that these 9 divine dragons were captured by the Heavenly Palace. They are all peak divine dragons, but they are used to pull the war chariot. What a great humiliation! Lu Ming thought to himself. However, he restrained his aura to the extreme. The war chariot was definitely very powerful, and was definitely a divine master. If he was discovered by the other party, he would be in trouble. Fortunately, the other party didn't care. He just glanced at him casually, and then drove the divine dragons away, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. However, Lu Ming didn't dare to relax, and still hid in the scales, waiting. After a full half an hour, Lu Ming heaved a sigh of relief. Of course, Lu Ming still didn't take action, but continued to wait. There were indeed Heavenly Palace patrollers in this cage. More than an hour passed, and the Heavenly Palace patrollers didn't appear again. They should have gone far away. Lu Ming then began to move. He found a huge broken divine sword, and then pushed it in the direction of the third demon sword. Along the way, Lu Ming's spirit was highly tensed. It was fine when he didn't see the Heavenly Palace patrollers, but now that he saw them, Lu Ming was much more nervous, and he was constantly on guard, afraid that they would suddenly appear. Fortunately, Lu Ming managed to bring the broken divine sword to the third demon sword without any mishap. "Senior, I just saw the Heavenly Palace patrollers. We have to speed up," Lu Ming said, and then pushed the huge broken divine sword into the black hole, and the third demon sword swallowed it. After the third demon sword swallowed the broken divine sword, a powerful aura suddenly burst out from its body, and its eyes shone with a terrifying sword chi. "My strength has recovered a lot, and it's enough to bring you in. Lu Ming, fly over," the third demon sword said. "Okay." Lu Ming didn't hesitate at all, and directly rushed into the black hole. This made the third demon sword's eyes flash with a hint of admiration. One must know that rushing into a black hole was very dangerous. If one was careless, there was a risk of death. However, Lu Ming was very decisive, without the slightest hesitation. This showed that Lu Ming was a decisive person, And the third demon sword admired this kind of character. As soon as Lu Ming rushed into the black hole, he felt a terrible suction force enveloping him, pulling him into the center of the black hole. At the same time, this force was very terrifying, as if it wanted to tear Lu Ming's body to pieces. Lu Ming found that with his current strength, in front of this suction force, he was very small and insignificant. However, in the next moment, a gentle force surged and enveloped him. Suddenly, the suction force outside was blocked by this gentle force. They are tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.